Welcome to The Passion Pod with your host, Chris Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the feature presentation.
So who are you?
Me?
Yeah, dude.
My name's Justin. I play with Pert Near Sandstone. I also play host to this here festival we're at.
Yeah, you're like the most known person right here as far as like you've been here every single year. You're in this band. You're on top of stage with the biggest instrument that like exists.
Yeah,
so,
in this realm, yeah.
Yeah, so everyone else knows you here except for me until right now.
I know, how about that, huh?
So thanks for hopping
Welcome
on.
to our festival, Chris.
Thank you so much. So how did this festival, because you guys are the house band, right? So this started with you, like you guys are the organizers.
Well,
kind of.
yes, we are the organizers in partnership with the Bishop family who own the grounds, and they have the infrastructure,
right? And
then we help with the curation of the bill, the back of house production, and stuff like that, and so it's a definite team effort.
Well, you can't throw something like this with one person. It's always gonna be a team, right?
It's gotta be about 300 people.
Is that how many people work for Blue Box approximately?
During the festival, I'm not positive of the exact full number, but it definitely is many people between running the gates. Hi.
I got an intro.
Right now?
Oh. Okay, so we're back. So
yeah,
you were just telling me before you got pulled off to sprint across the entire festival to hop on stage because you're a legend, that there was approximately 300 people that are involved. But there's a lot of things going on here, right? Between security and the people lining up everything and the caterers and
trash, the porta potties.
This is the most epic porta potty ever, by the way.
Air conditioned.
Yeah.
There's even sometimes, I think in years past, there was even music playing in there. You know?
I mean, I'm glad I'm back here literally just for that, if nothing else. So anyway, so what's your actual role then with Pert Near? Were you one of like the founding members of it? Okay, how many people were in it when it started? Like, it
was a 4 or 5 piece when it started. I joined 8 or 9 years ago. So I'm not a founding member, but I have been in the band. I think I'm the longest tenured bass player. I play upright bass and sing, and we share songwriting duties, and it's a real collaborative effort. But yeah, so there are 3 still remaining original members. We are now 6-piece because we added Chris to the mix on fiddle. Ryan Young of Trampled was also a founding member. And then, he's parted ways, and we played with various other people, and now it's just kind of like we got Chris Forsberg, and he's ever invited, basically. He's an open invitation, and he's basically been playing all the shows with us. So now we're 6 people, and still, like I said, 3 founding members.
How do you decide like what instruments you even want to add to songs? Because I was talking to your clogger, and I'm just curious because it is actually really dope. Obviously, everyone freaks out about it, but like, at what point are you guys jamming, playing together, and you're like, I really want to add a banjo, or I really want to add a clogger? Like, how do you decide that?
That's a good question because it's pretty organic. Like, we always bring a song to the other fellas. And then there's a rough structure usually, and then in the genre sort of lends itself to solos, and then it's the question of what solo would fit best here, and often it's just like we'll play it and feel it out, and it really is kind of organic. It just kind of grows like, oh, this would be a good spot for the fiddle.
Sure.
Or we want to come out of a fiddle solo into this, or the banjo solo would be really great after this verse. It's not that scientific, really. It's really organic.
Bluegrass is very jammy, right?
It is very jammy and very improv-y and very solo heavy. Yes.
Sure. When you practice, is it always identical to what you end up performing, or is there like kind of
It depends on the song. It really depends on the song.
Okay.
If it's like an open-ended sort of 3-chord easy song, then shit, man, just let it roll. And on stage, it's always, or it's often, the first person you look at is the first person who's going to take a solo. You know what I mean? Or the first person you yell at. You're like, Nate! And Nate's like, okay. And he starts a solo, steps on his boost pedal, and you're off, Do
you have the solo kind of prepared specifically, or?
It depends on the song. Yep.
Sometimes you just kind of go for it?
Yep. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It really depends on the song.
Where did you learn? I mean, did you go to school for upright bass?
I did not at all.
Okay, well, that's quite the instrument to just pick up.
Anybody who has gone to school for bass knows probably that I did not go to school for bass.
Why do you say that?
But no, that's just a little self-deprecation and me covering my ass for anybody who has serious chops on the bass, because I came to the bass at 25, 24. My friend was in a band, I kind of played guitar a little bit, and my friend was like, hey, our bass player had a kid, and he doesn't want to perform with us. It's just too much for him. I was like, oh, bummer, man. What are you guys going to do? He's like, well, I was thinking you could just do it. And I was like, I laughed at him. I was like, you're funny, man. I've never even touched an upright bass. He's like, no, you can do it. You can do it. Because, I knew like basic theory.
Sure.
And, the genre, while it's filled with virtuosic performers and obviously the talent level, I mean, the sky is the
You can take anything and go that way and go to just a level beyond.
And, like tomorrow night we're going to have Bela Fleck and Sam Bush and Dell and like the McCurrys. Like these people are the players in our genre.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it since they were, 5, or younger.
Yeah.
Some of them, so like for me it was like, okay, I'm going to try this. I get the bass and I'm like, okay, this was
a regular bass guitar at the time, or you got a stand
upright. Like Peter just lent me the one that he was using.
Oh, okay.
So like I fell into this bass and then I just started playing with Jake, my buddy, and then it just kind of grew out of that, and I was just like slowly got the idea of it and the form of the songs. And like I said, the songs aren't super complicated, but of course there's nuance, and you can be really good at a 3-chord song on the upright bass in the bluegrass genre, but you can also kind of get by if you're a rookie and are just kind of supporting the good musicians around you. You know what I mean?
But it was all pretty self-taught then.
Yeah,
because it's not like this was time frame of YouTube where there's a bunch of videos teaching you how to play something, and there's not that many people that play it.
That too. Yeah, exactly. So I took a couple lessons, but I just don't do well with, like, I'm very sporadic. It's like a lot of fits and starts. I'll practice heavily for a week.
Sure.
And then I'll fucking just,
Then you play other things
and then
well, or no?
Well, I like playing the guitar, but again, I'm definitely a jack of all trades, expert at nothing kind of a guy.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's still how I am today, and I imagine how I'll be for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can cover a lot of bases, especially when you have 6 different people involved, that helps a lot, I imagine, with writing music or anything else, because you have a general knowledge of a lot of things. You know what I mean? With everything that's going on within the entire band, so that would affect nuance and all that type of stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
On a different note, you just had to sprint off because you had to introduce somebody. Yeah. I'm just curious. I've gone and public spoke and stuff, and I intro people for my show usually, not in this scenario, but typically I write a little thing. Sure. For all the people you intro, is that just all top of the head, or do you sit one night around the campfire and you're like, I need some clever little one-liners?
Yes, often I have at least a structure or a few sentences that I want to use. Sometimes I go as far as writing a poem, like a full-on poem introduction. I do like doing that, but I don't know everybody well enough to do that all the time. And there's a great out in Delfest. Del McCurry has a festival out in Maryland. We just played. And Joe Craven is their MC. He's a musician, and he's a great MC, and he's thorough. He writes he's a great writer. So he writes full-on introductions for everybody. And he's a bit of inspiration for me in regards to the MC work that I do here. Because it's fun when he's pumping the crowd up and he's being artistic and lyrical and he's injecting his art into his MC work. And I like doing that too. But for me, I really function. I love getting on stage and just creating rapport and vibe with the audience. And so there is a lot of improv. And like when I just ran off now, I didn't bring my clipboard with me. Like I said to you before, I was like, I gotta fucking, eat some food and write up an intro for Old Crow and like, get some structure. But, I ran off and I was like, okay, give me the mic. Here we go.
That's the beautiful thing about being experienced and doing something enough times that you may you could always do something better if you prepared. But honestly, off the top of the head, you can still do a pretty darn good job if you've done enough of them.
I mean, it's true. And I'm thankful that my nerves don't get the best of me.
Yeah.
And that I can, find that groove when I get up there. And, sometimes I keep it real brief because I do get in my head. I'm like, oh, shit, I got nothing prepared. I got to... So, but I don't know. It's just having done this for a number of years now.
Do you MC other events or just this?
No, I haven't, but I mean... I'm open to it.
So you're going to show me your ways. I'm going to talk to you about more interviewing stuff off mic, and then we're going to have to MC a totally different event.
I'm in.
And we can play off each other that way.
I'm in, man.
All right. Well, let's play one of your songs. What's one of the songs you guys performed that we can play on air right now?
Well, that one that I wrote that we performed is called Hell I'd Pay. That's one we did tonight, and I wrote it. I love the other fellas' tunes, but I feel like
this one's your baby.
Well, this is, it's my tune that, I wrote a long time ago, and it's kind of become, a standard song that I sing on most shows,
Sure.
It often makes the set list just because it's high energy, it's, it's fun, and, I just love performing it.
Awesome.
I knew the hell I'd pay. Trouble on my way. I wish I knew what note to sing. I wish I knew what bell to ring. Turbans on this plane, quell my dull old pain, sate my restless mood with alcohol and food, yeah. I knew the way to go. I wish I knew how to go slow. Running from show to show. Blue oxen pull this car. Find a place to start.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Passion Pod. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We'll see you soon.